Technically speaking, you're bankrupt, kiddo.
That sounds bad.
It is bad.
Over the last couple of years, numerous establishments were forced to scale back operations and some even closed down for good. Here are 10 restaurant chains we may be losing for good in 2022.
We're gonna miss you, buddy.
Hale and Hearty closed all locations.
$3. What? No soup for you.
Soup and a sandwich. These lunch items go together like peanut butter and jelly. Hale and Hearty, a beloved New York chain, dished out the soups and sandwiches for nearly 20 years before calling it quits this year on the 1st of July. Their website and social media pages are even unavailable and inactive. Just a few years ago in 2015, business was booming and the chain was touted as the next Panera Bread for its tasty soups, sandwiches, and salads that left New Yorkers satisfied at lunchtime. Financial struggles have followed the chain since opening locations in the high-rent Manhattan areas, and they struggled to keep up with the expenses. This suddenly came to a head last winter when the restaurant was sued by its financial district landlords as the chain owed them over $400,000 in unpaid rent.
All I got is this 20 for the rest of the week.
Sorry, doesn't pay the rent.
If this is truly the end of Hale and Hearty, it will be a lamentable loss for New Yorkers. Customers rated the chain highly for its fresh and delicious lunch items, reasonable prices, and convenient location. For now though, as another famous New York restaurateur once said, no soup for you. Howard Johnson's closed all locations.
Lick, lick, lick. It's an ice cream cone.
Ice cream is the perfect summer treat for anyone with a sweet tooth or looking to cool down on a hot day. In terms of ice cream chains, we all know the big guns like Dairy Queen and Baskin Robbins. But did you know one of the America's oldest ice cream chains is shutting down permanently? The final location, located in New York, closed down in July, meaning the chain that was once America's biggest is now done for. The first location opened in Quincy Square in 1929 when Howard Deering Johnson began selling his signature ice cream, which was available in 28 distinct flavors. Over the course of the next few decades, they expanded rapidly, adding full-service diners to Johnson's ice cream empire. The restaurants eventually reached over 1,000 locations across the states, becoming one of the largest chains in the country in the 1960s and 70s. However, following this period of great success, the chain began losing traction to other chains like McDonald's and Dairy Queen, and by the mid-2000s, only a handful of physical locations remained. The events of the last couple of years was the final nail in the coffin, as the last location in Lake George closed earlier this year.
How sad is that?
Though the restaurant business is now defunct, Johnson's chain of identically named hotels remains operational. The loss of the restaurants is unfortunate. In addition to being a pioneer of great ice cream, Johnson was ahead of his time in many ways, supporting civil rights and a multitude of social issues before it was popular to do so. He and his ice cream are missed greatly. Nestle Café closed most locations.
Antonio, Nestle Crunch with the crispy rice removed.
Nestle is best known for providing children with a massive amount of Halloween treats throughout the years for their countless iconic chocolates and products. They also ran a chain of cafes called Nestle Café, until this year that is. The first Nestle Toll House Cafe was opened in the year 2000 in Dallas, Texas. The cafes offered items like cookies, cakes, muffins, milkshakes, smoothies, and coffee.
Would you be requiring a cold beverage while you're here?
I'd love some coffee.
This was Nestle's answer to Starbucks as well as Mrs. Field's cookies, and they enjoyed success with the chain of physical cafes for some time at least. However, following a significant decline in customers and profit that was heightened due to the recent global challenges, the majority of locations were closed for good when they were purchased by the California-based FAT Brands, which has intentions to turn them into Great American Cookie stores. There are a handful of remaining locations, but these are all smaller ones that are based in malls or shopping centers. It's an unfortunate and premature end to one of the most interesting and popular cafe chains of recent years. However, this just shows the devastating impact that recent events have had on the restaurant industry as a whole. In the meantime, we will have to turn back to our chocolate bars in order to get our much needed Nestle fix. Ryan's, closing all locations.
All you can eat.
All you can eat?
Ryan's Buffet, which was once a worthy adversary of Golden Corral, filed for bankruptcy this year, along with several other restaurant chains under the Texas-based Vita Nova brands. Founded in 1977 by Alvin McCall Jr., Ryan's quickly excelled in the South and Midwest of the United States.
I'm rich. I'm rich.
After selling his restaurants, the chain experienced great growth throughout the 1980s and 90s, introducing a bar at several locations, numerous buffet stations, and a multitude of interesting entrees. Despite this triumph, Ryan's began to experience losses in recent years, filing for bankruptcy in April of 2021. They were purchased by BBQ Holdings. As BBQ Holdings is primarily focused on growing successful brands, the fate of Ryan's remains up in the air, and barring any last-minute developments, it appears that all locations will be closing shortly. Reflecting on the bankruptcy, it looks like this might be the end for Ryan. Old Country Buffet, closing all locations.
It says it's all you can eat.
Well, it's all you can eat, but
Well,
you
what's
can't...
the difference if I give it to somebody else?
Old Country Buffet, much like Ryan's, was part of Vita Nova Brands based in San Antonio, Texas. The history of Old Country Buffet dates back to 1983, when it began operations in Texas, later merging with the similarly titled Hometown Buffet, bringing its total number of locations to a whopping 346 company-owned stores and 24 franchises in 36 states. However, following the 2008 financial crisis, the chain began to falter. After facing a series of bankruptcies in the span of the years between 2008 and 2012, the company was subsequently purchased by Fresh Acquisitions and FMP Management. Fast forward to the present year, and after the challenges of the past couple of years, the buffets have a variety of unsecured liabilities, including $3.9 million in sales taxes, $900,000 in payroll tax obligations, and other debt. Similar to Ryan's, Old Country Buffet was seen as an obsolete brand, and it doesn't look like they are going to survive this latest bankruptcy and purchase. So it looks like all you Old Country Buffet fans are out of luck, and you'll need to head to the Golden Corral if you want to receive your buffet fix now. Pizza Inn closed many locations.
Pizza time.
Anytime is a great time for pizza time. From Pizza Hut to Domino's, there are a multitude of chains to get yourself a slice of pizza. One pizza chain that is in serious trouble due to the pandemic is the iconic Pizza Inn. Founded in 1958 in Dallas, Texas by two brothers, Joe and R.L. Spillman, word of the restaurant's great service and food spread rapidly throughout the decades, as they set up a considerable amount of chains throughout the southwestern United States, before being purchased by the Von Erich family in the mid-1980s. Though they experienced success for many years, recent events have changed this. Their buffet locations have been especially affected, as numerous closings of restaurants took place, and their sales dropped by nearly 40%. It appears that we may have seen the final days of Pizza Inn, as growing competition from other chains, delivery apps, and continued losses are all contributing to the downfall of the chain.
It's too much! It's too much!
The CEO of Pizza Inn's parent company offered some news from a positive perspective, saying that the franchisees and team members have remained committed to the business and customers, resulting in our 7th consecutive quarter of profitability. This offers some hope that Pizza Inn will stay open in this troubling and uncertain time for our economy and industry, but it still remains to be seen if it will. High Five closed many locations.
It's the best pizza in the neighborhood. Oh, 8th best.
Pizza Inn is not the only pizza chain in America that has had serious issues over the last couple of years. One of the other chains owned by Rave Inc. of Dallas, Pizza 5, is also experiencing troubles. Opening in June of 2011, Pizza 5 is particularly unique in the pizza world, featuring a menu where you can customize personal pizzas and order calzones, salads, and desserts, all ready in under 5 minutes in most instances. After opening, they received positive reactions from customers and industry professionals for their innovative approach to the industry. After starting in Texas, they expanded to an abundance of locations throughout the Midwest and Southwest. However, for reasons that we are all well aware of by now, they have faced major struggles as of late. Though they once had over 100 locations, that number has shrunk down to 31. Their total sales declined by over 37% this year, with same-store sales declining nearly 16%. A competitive market, poor marketing, and high costs all contributed to these struggles as well. well. Like with Pizza Inn, the CEO is still optimistic and pointed to the company's $8 million in assets. The CEO stated that, despite supply chain disruptions and labor challenges, the focus on cost control continues to pay off for the restaurants and operators. He also talked of plans to redevelop Pizza 5, including new decor, a refreshed specialty pizza menu, and an emphasis on house-made curated salads.
Fingers crossed.
Let's hope this chain still has some life in them yet. Meatheads Burgers and Fries filed for bankruptcy.
I declare bankruptcy!
If there are two things that the people of Chicago love, it's Da Bears and their cooked meats. One of the most iconic recent chain restaurants from Chi-Town, Meatheads Burgers and Fries, is yet another restaurant that has been struggling and is in danger of closing down. The company was started by Tom Jednorowitz, who had previous experience with multiple popular Illinois restaurants before starting the burger chain. It quickly grew popular with young people in Illinois, particularly those from Illinois State University and the University of Illinois. To stand out from the competition in the fast casual burger race against rivals like Five Guys, Meatheads is known for cutting a customer's fries in front of them.
Game changer.
Despite their great success, Meatheads might have just become the next victim of the recent devastating impact on the restaurant business, as they experienced an 18.9% drop in sales from 2019 to 2020. Additionally, despite receiving millions of dollars in relief money from the Paycheck Protection Program loan, as well as a protection loan from LQD Financial, they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in April of 2021. The bankruptcy protection money may be able to save the chain, but this remains to be seen. Meatheads could become the next chain we may be losing very soon. Burger IM filed for bankruptcy.
Matter of fact, it's the best burger I've had in years.
From one burger chain to another, Burger IM is next on our list of restaurants that we may be saying goodbye to in 2022. The chain was started by Israeli Donna Tuckner, who came up with the idea for a new burger restaurant while she was studying at a culinary school in New York City. Upon her return to Israel, she opened her first location in Tel Aviv, getting the name Burger IM by taking burger and adding the Hebrew suffix IM, which refers to the small size of the slider-like burgers that she serves. They served a variety of meat options, including beef, chicken, lamb, and falafel options, as well as numerous toppings and cheese. The chain was subsequently purchased by Oren Lani, who expanded into the United States, seeing great success in the following years. However, in 2020, the controversy came knocking, as they were forced to consider bankruptcy. Due to Lani's mishandling of the rapid expansion, making extravagant purchases, and focusing on growing as quickly as possible without fiscal responsibility, many locations were completely unprofitable, and Lani soon left the USA for Israel. Later in 2022, the US Attorney General filed a lawsuit against Lani for misleading franchisees about the financial viability of their locations, defrauding and overselling investors, and the fact that they backed out of a promise to refund franchise fees to thousands of investors.
Why?
It seems that this popular chain is nearing its end. Brio Tuscan Grille and Bravo Italian Kitchen closed many locations.
I can do a pretty good Italian accent.
You think you could milk me?
For this entry on our list of restaurant chains that we may be losing for good in 2022, we go back to the sphere of fast casual Italian dining. Brio Tuscan Grille and Bravo Italian Kitchen, the much-loved Italian chain, is facing some significant difficulties. The brand was started back in 1992 by brothers Rick and Chris Duty and executive chef Phil Yondolino. The first restaurant was a Bravo Italian Kitchen in Columbus, Ohio, and after success with that location, a sister chain, Brio Tuscan Grille, was started, presented as a more upscale experience for diners and enthusiasts. In May of 2018, the two brands were sold. In April of 2022, Food First Global Restaurants, the new parent company, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy and closed over 70 Brio and Bravo locations across the country, with many having become unprofitable with only curbside pickup and delivery.
Okay, that is sad.
In June of 2020, the company was bought out by Earl Enterprises, which has kept the brand alive for now. It still remains to be seen if the surviving locations will be around in the years to come. So hold your breath, Bravo and Brio fans.
Gotta stay optimistic, you know?
Stay right here and check out another great BabbleTop video. It's easy, just tap or click. Thanks.